Hey guys, it's Cindy with a pacemaker and a 6-week surgery update. I had surgery 6 weeks ago today, and I've got some updates for you. I went for a run today. It didn't go great. I went 3 miles, and it was a 16-minute mile for my first mile. And that's not great, not even good. It's kind of a joke. The first run that I went on was like 2.5 weeks post-surgery, and that went great. Probably the best run I've had in like 10 years. I was on a treadmill, and so everything was flat, obviously, on a treadmill. And every run I've done since then has been outside on hills. And I spoke to my pacemaker rep about that. He said that probably just the way that the new pacemaker is, when you're running on a flat surface, the pacemaker has a mechanism inside that senses changes in balance and when you are going up or down the stairs or whatever. So if you're running flat on a treadmill, it'll keep my heart rate pretty steady. But then when it recognizes that I'm going up a hill or down a hill or running outside, it raises my heart rate, and then that's hard for me. So the upper limit of my pacemaker is 170. And today I hit 170 within like 500 feet. So for my entire 3-mile run, jog, walk, my heart rate stayed at about 170. So that was fun. I'm gonna try running on a treadmill again and see if that helps with it. My battery is at 4.4 years, and I am 6 weeks into this battery. It's supposed to last like 8 to 10 years. 6 to 8 to 10 years, depending on how you use it. But the way that they've got it set for me, it is at 4.4 years now. Immediately after surgery, I spent about 3 hours with the pacemaker reps trying to get the settings set accurately. And they had one rep, and then they called in another Medtronic rep, and then they called in a third Medtronic rep. And for 3 hours, they adjusted my pacemaker. And if you have a pacemaker, you know that is not enjoyable. If you don't have a pacemaker, be happy that you haven't had to have your pacemaker adjusted for 3 hours. And then I sent in a transmission a couple weeks ago, and they told me to come in and they needed to adjust it. And I spent about 2 hours getting it adjusted at my local clinic. And so all that to say, getting the latest, greatest, newest kind of pacemaker is very exciting, but nobody knows how to set it. So it takes a lot of different people and a lot of trial and error and go back again to get it set right. Hopefully we've got it set good. Good news is it was set in a way that it was only working efficiently like every 6th heartbeat. But now they've got it set better, and I should get an additional 30% of cardiac output, which means I'll get out of breath less and just have more, cardiac output. I don't know how to describe what that is other than when you need some, you get it. That's cardiac output. What else? Yes, so I get more cardiac output, but my battery only is gonna last 4.5 years, which is really disappointing. That's about half of what I was expecting it to last. I also found out that these pacemakers can't be removed. So it's stuck in my heart chamber, and there's a device where you can get it out, but usually I've had conflicting information. But it makes sense to me. The lady that told me you can't take them out said that they get bound up with scar tissue and they can't be removed, which totally makes sense, because the reason that I have this is because I made too much scar tissue around my last pacemaker. So I'm probably not going to be able to get this one removed, which would be fine if they lasted for 8 years, but there's only so much space inside your heart chamber where the pacemaker goes, and that means I can only get so many of these devices. So hopefully it lasts more than 4.5 years. Here's my scar. The scar is looking pretty good. Let's see if I can get better light. See my old scar from my previous pacemakers, and then this is my new scar. It was really, really swollen. It's a lot more pliable now, but immediately after my surgery, it was more swollen than when I had a pacemaker in there. I had the surgery to eliminate a superior vena cava obstruction, which was scar tissue around the wire inside my superior vena cava, which is the main vein where blood returns from your head and your arms. Since the surgery, I am feeling a lot better with mental clarity and brain fog. I have less brain fog, and I didn't even realize how much brain fog I had until it went away. I felt real smart. So as you can see, I'm still having some of the symptoms, like getting out of breath and turning red-ish purple. I got a purple shirt on, so that might be misleading. And my face getting all veiny. It's not too bad. Yeah, well, it's worse when this vein, and this vein in my neck are pretty much always like that. But the color, not too drastic. So that's where I'm at. 6 weeks with my new Micra AV pacemaker. I decided, I get a lot of people who send me comments and questions like, oh, I don't know how you do it, and you just always have such a good attitude, and I wish I could be as strong as you. And let me say, first of all, it's not me, it's Jesus. It's all Jesus. I don't take any credit for that. Number two, you don't wish you were like this, and I became like this because I have gone through a lot of things to get here. So I'm glad you're not like this. It is disappointing, and recovery from surgery sucks, and it hurts, and it's not fair, and it just sucks sometimes, and I get that. So I'm trying to be a little more, I don't know, not honest. I'm not dishonest when I talk about it, but just a little more clear with the good and the bad, because there's always good things to celebrate and things to praise God about and be thankful for, especially this coming week. Oh, now my face is starting to swell. Is it just me? Can you see it too? Yeah, looking a little chubby. But it's also really disappointing to be in a hard time and watch somebody else be like, oh, this hard time's not that hard, just smile and it'll get better. That's not what I'm saying. But there is always something to smile about. So I will be more honest and transparent and talk about the stuff that sucks as well as the stuff that is exciting. So there we have it. 7.5 minutes. I'll be impressed if anybody listens to 7.5 minutes of this. But I feel like I should set up so we can see if my swelling goes away. Kind of. I had to put my ponytail on the side so I didn't look like a 12-year-old boy. And then when I put it on the side, I just look like I fell out of the 80s and need a haircut. Those split ends. The Rona is not doing me favors. I think the swelling went away a little bit. All right, bye.